Zabit Magomedsharipov. Now, I got a couple of feelings towards Zabit. I love watching him fight, and learning how to say Magomedsharipov took me a period of time. I actually had to work with Megan Oliva, had to break it all down, get it phonetic. I had to write it down. I had to get Magomedsharipov. That's perfect. And then all of a sudden, Zabit Magomedsharipov, and I don't just say this to be funny to you. Yes, there's a little bit of lightheartedness, but when he stopped, what are you doing? What are you doing? I just learned how to say your name. Not to mention, I started looking forward to his fights. Not to mention, Zabit looks better on paper now. He is more attractive now, even having been out for a period of time, because he beat Kattar, and look at what Kattar has done in the last 12 months. What Kattar's done in the last 12 days, damn near, right? We see the Calvin Kattar as a contender. We see he's one of the best guys in the world. We see he's 5-round guy. He's championship round ready. And Zabit got the best. Okay, great. Zabit gets a win. Zabit looks even better. But I don't think any of us were questioning that anyway. And isn't Zabit's record something and oh? Isn't he one of those guys that's like 14-0? And if I'm wrong, there was one early on that none of us saw on some mythical tape somewhere. And he's 14-1. It's beautiful. We know that Zabit's good. That's all I'm sharing with you. Not to mention he's got a very hard problem, very hard body to deal with. He's long as hell for 145 pounds. And some of the submissions that he can even go for, I couldn't even drill. I couldn't even go in the practice room and have a guy who's working with me, and I couldn't drill because I'm not long enough. So Zabit brings in a really dynamic grappling skills. We've seen dynamic strikers. Yair Rodriguez, if we're going to talk about this weight class, comes to mind for being a dynamic striker. Right when we think we know everything about striking, you get a guy that comes out, he does something we've never seen before. I can't tell you of a dynamic grappler that we've seen in the last 10 years. More so than Zabit Magomedsharipov. He will do things on the ground. You sit back and you go, what's he doing? Hey, rewind that. I've never seen that before, right? It's tough. Even the announcers have a hard time. Well, what the hell is he doing there? He's got the guy's leg, but he's got his toe over here, and he's got a thumb in his ear. I mean, it's one of these things where you want to see more Zabit, but who should Zabit fight? And the reason I bring him up is Zabit came out. Zabit does a terrible job with media. Very close to being a literal statement when I tell you he does no media. 100% literal statement when I tell you he does not attempt to manipulate the media. You could do that too. Trash talking. You could do that through something that kids call trolling. You could do that just being active, Derek Lewis style. Find things that other people are doing, bring it to your channel and put it out. You're the funny guy to go to. Oh, there's a million different things that work. He does zero in that category. So nobody makes it harder to be a Zabit fan than Zabit. Not to mention Zabit up and walked away a year ago. Am I wrong, guy? A year and a half ago? Just up and walked away. That would never happen to Chael P. That would never happen to one of the young athletes that I work with. We are the boss even after a loss. We will fix it. We will handle it. We will sit out as long as we want to sit out. We will still have the headlines. He didn't do any of that. So Zabit up and disappears, and it looks like, okay, I'm not being hard on Zabit telling you it's hard to be a Zabit fan. It's what Zabit wants. He wants to go hide out. He wants to live under a rock. He wants to live his life. That's his business. But now all of a sudden he says he's back. And even in the article where he says he's back, he said, I'm back to train. I'm going to smash somebody on February 26th. Okay, couple of problems. I'm going to smash somebody is Khabib's line, for one. And two, on February 26th, like if I go bring February 26th up on my iPhone calendar, am I going to see that that's even a Saturday? Is that even a day where a fight is going on? Because it sounds a lot like he just made a fight announcement. He just left out who and where. He did tell us the win. As long as February 26th, I haven't researched this. If February 26th lines up with a Saturday, there's probably a fight going on. What's that got to do with him? If he just got back to training, I mean, guys, I'm 9 hours away from it being February right now. So he's got 26 days. He said, I'm back in the gym. I'm going to smash somebody on February 26th. I don't have enough details. You just got back to the gym and you're jumping in there in 3 weeks. You've been back to the gym for 3 months, but you just signed a contract to fight somebody on February 26th. I don't know. The reason I don't know is because the author of the statement, who chooses to do no media, went and finally did media with no details. You see what the problem is? I would love to be excited about it. I'd love to be over here and I'd love to tell you guys, I already know who I wanted to fight. I mentioned him a minute ago. Yair Rodriguez. And we were told as the audience we were going to get that fight. We didn't. Yair ends up in some kind of red tape. He gets cleared. He comes back. He's got different opponents. Never lined up with Zabit. Zabit's won all these fights in a row, and Yair lost his last fight. And generally, policy speaking, a guy that wins takes on another guy that wins, and a guy that lost takes on another guy that lost. I don't see it that way. I don't think you guys think Yair lost his last fight. I don't mean that it was the wrong call. He looked great out there. He looked competitive. He's a guy that's been out for a period of time, so he's coming off a loss, but something beats Zabit too. I just don't know what it is. I don't know, his illness, injury. Many people, and I looked into this, many people said no, he wasn't hurt and he wasn't sick. He lost his motivation. He didn't want to do it anymore. That stunned me, to see somebody as young and up and coming, to see somebody that was grabbing a fan base. I mean, there's a reason I took the time to learn how to say Magomedsharipov correctly. I saw that guy fight. I said, man, I'm going to be saying this word a long time. There's going to be a day when I'm saying fighting for the championship. I got to know how to say Magomedsharipov. There's likely a day where I'm talking about, hey, the champion of the division, and I got to say Magomedsharipov. So when he just disappeared, this is rumor at best. I didn't hear it from him. Rumor at best, though, people were saying he wasn't hurt and he wasn't sick. He just didn't want to fight anymore. And I started then on my own trying to draw a conclusion. Well, how did we get to that point? All on my own. I'm making this up, but my guess was something with a weight cut. A weight cut will end a guy's career quicker than anything I've ever seen. You'll just never be told it. Guys know what it takes in terms of lifestyle and level of discipline to beat the scale the day before, and sometimes it is just too big and insurmountable of a mountain. And Zabit just strikes me as a big guy. So I'm just throwing that on the table, but it was something along these lines, and it got him. Whatever it was, it beat him. Whatever mental or physical he was dealing with got the best, which is why we didn't see him compete. I'm going to call that a loss. And I do think he rightly qualifies to pick up where he left off, which was against Yair Rodriguez, and Yair should not be punished because Yair didn't take that time off. He went out there and competed, even if he got the silver medal. That's still the match I'm submitting for you. If I was to take a bigger guess, just on this article that I read, if I was to take a bigger guess, Zabit has an opponent for the 26th. He just didn't think to tell us who that opponent's going to be. I could have that wrong. But when you tell a story and you forget Miss Juris's 5 W's of who, what, when, why, and where, you're the one that made the mistake. Not me.